Good. You're moving some wine?
Look, watch. See? I don't know if I did that right, but the line just keeps getting longer and longer. It's 5:02. I'm just going to give it one more minute and then we'll start. See who else is here.
Jose moving.
I think Jim and Judy are here so far, and I know they have a few people with them, but I don't know who else is here.
You came on like a real jerk.
So we can turn my phone off, right?
Yeah. Kevin, this is our 4th tasting.
I know. I'm excited.
It's just awesome that we're doing this. Maybe this will be a real personal, private tasting today. A lot of people bought the wine.
Right?
It's a gorgeous day, and I'm just seeing just a few people on here. So hopefully we get a few more people join in. Very personalized tasting.
Absolutely.
That's
Private
good.
class.
And with the recording.
Hi, Sandy, we're here.
Hey, Jane. Is Judy here too? Let's see.
Hi.
Oh, good. There you are.
Yeah.
We're all here.
All right.
What are you drinking my wine?
I don't know which one they're doing first.
Who knows? I didn't mean last week either. I'm going by the way we had the bottle set up. Yeah, I tried that last week. It didn't work.
I'll cook your okay. Jim. I don't know.
Do we know what we're doing first?
We're going to do the rosé first.
Great.
Oh, I see the map.
Can you make it fit the screen? I mean, I think if you go control minus, if you do control minus, you can make it fit the screen.
All right. Happy Saturday, everybody. All right.
Thank
I
you.
think we're going to get started here. Happy Saturday. Welcome back. It's our 4th tasting today at Wine Express. We're going to be doing some awesome wines from France. It's our Tour de France tasting featuring Jean-Philippe Bourgeois again. Thank you for being with us again.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And Jean-Philippe was with us last week. He's the importer of French, Spanish, and Slovenian wines, JP Imports. We have Kevin Sanfilippo with us, grassroots rep for the upstate. One of my favorite reps, I'm just going to say. And we have Todd Francis, our marketing manager, here with us, help us navigate along. So thank you all for being here. And thank you to our guests that are joining in. We're going to be tasting 6 wines. We're going to start with rosé, move through the whites, and then go to the reds. So again, my name is Sandy Merlino, and I'm the wine manager at Wine Express. And I'm happy we could be here together. So cheers to a happy and healthy and beautiful Saturday. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to start with our first wine. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to JP, and he can start talking, and that'll be our first one. I just wanted to show the picture. So.
Oh, thank you, Sandy. It's good to be here again. Welcome back, and or welcome. So for the little Tour de France today, we're going to start in the southern Rhône Valley. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, bottom right of your screen, Rhône Valley, where it says right there, orange. So if you see in the middle of the pink at the bottom, right there, yeah. Like go further up, dark pink, and further up, right there. That city right here. That's it. You're on there. So orange. The town of Orange is actually where Domaine de Châteaumar is located, which is just adjacent to Châteauneuf-du-Pape. And it's basically the mecca of the southern Rhône Valley, where the Côtes-du-Rhône region is located. Côtes-du-Rhône literally meaning hills of the Rhône River, hills of the river. And Domaine de Châteaumar is an estate that was started in the 11th century. By the Romans. It was taken over by the Souret family in the early 19th century. And their rosé, which I believe they call perle de rosé, or rosé pearls, is made from Grenache and Mourvèdre. It's a small production. Frédéric Souret, who's the current owner, winemaker, makes 1,250 cases of this wine per year. So one of the best value, and I'm mostly biased, but one of the best rosé coming from the southern Rhône, in the sense that it's a lot lighter color, a lot more floral driven, minerally driven than a lot of rosé you're gonna find coming from the southern Rhône Valley as the Côtes-du-Rhône. Most of those ones are usually a lot more tannic, but here you have something very floral, very fruity, very elegant, with great minerality, and also a touch of spice on the back end, added from the Mourvèdre. So a delicious rosé. There, the winery here, on top of that, we're going to test another one, I believe, from Domaine de Châteaumar today, which is the Cuvée Bastien. So we're going to see their red wine as well. The winery in itself is about 40 acres. It's about 40 acres, 50 acres of vines, and all divided between Châteauneuf-du-Pape and Côtes-du-Rhône. Everything at the winery is done by hand a lot. They work extremely well in their vineyards. And just like any of the other wines that are imports, don't use any pesticides, herbicides, or chemical in the vineyards. So not certified organic, sustainably farmed, but with no chemical product in the vineyards and very few add-ons in the cellar as well. So very, very healthy wines for you. And the Rhône Valley, if you take the region, is probably some of the most well-known value French wine in the US come out of the southern Rhône Valley, which is that dark pink region there. As you can see, just north of Provence and just next between Provence and the Languedoc region. How do you like the wines? I don't know if Sandy's here or she's gone or something, but
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm familiar with this, and I love this rosé. I think it's fantastic. It does have a little spice note to it. That's wonderful, and I pick up a lot of apple for whatever reason. I do. I pick up some kind of apple taste, and I love it. But it is Grenache and Syrah, correct?
No, it's Grenache and Mourvèdre. 90% Grenache and 10% Mourvèdre. The soft spice after the mid palate comes from the Mourvèdre. Mourvèdre is also known as Monastrell for Spanish wine, and that's basically a grape that brings a lot of structure, tannic, and spices to wine. You know, it's a really bloody, dark, inky grape in a way. But of course, made in rosé when it's only on the skin for a few hours, and it doesn't. It just brings a soft. Pepper, white pepper, and some spices. The Grenache here, 90% of the wine brings the fruit, the light fruit, the cherries, the strawberries, and also the white flower, the little apple and peachy. I mean, it's almost like a Provence-style rosé coming from the region that is usually known from very tannic wine. So that's a really rare case, I guess, for that region when it comes to rosé. And then beautiful packaging, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah, it does a beautiful freshness to it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, the package is absolutely gorgeous. It's really, really pretty. Done in stainless, correct? This is all stainless?
Oh, yeah. Like many of the rosé, it's done in tank. You know, it's actually a 5 or concrete tank. You know, rosé, because they have to, you know, their wine not to keep for a long time, their wine to drink fresh, and they're supposed to be fruit driven. this is that's definitely a rosé. But we do the rosé in stainless steel tank or just in regular tank, which could be
Excellent.
stainless or fiber.
Last week we did a lot of the rosés. Obviously, we did it all rosé.
That's fun.
And I left this one out purposely because I wanted to just feature this one all by itself this week. So just beautiful. I'm glad. I don't know who's tasting it with us right now. Are Jane and Judy tasting this with us? I don't know. Hold up your glass. There you go. All right. I hope you're enjoying this because I think this.
Well, thank you. Cheers.
I'm a wine drinker and I like this.
Good.
Yeah, I can keep drinking that for sure.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I don't think it necessarily has to accompany food. We can just drink this by itself, but it can hold up.
Oh, absolutely. The rosé is just a drink, I don't know. There's no time to drink rosé, if it's even if it's warm or cold outside. I mean, rosé is a great aperitif. It's a great refreshing wine. If you're a red wine drinker, that is definitely your drink of choice for the summer, because those are all made from red wine grape, obviously, just in contact with the skin less, which the skin gives the color to the wine, and at least red skin. But there's no, like you said last week, there's no time frame for rosé. Yes, it's more prominent in the summer, but rosé is good all year long, and a rosé can age 2 years, 3 years, even up to 5 years in the bottle without any issue. A lot of people think it's a wine to drink that year, which is always better fresh for sure, but it can last a little longer than that.
Thank you for mentioning that. That's so true. I think we're ready to move on to our next wine. I'm going to hold up the bottle.
Okay, so now we're going to, easy for me to say, Domaine Beau Séjour. So we're going to go in the green region, the Loire Valley, the green region. Do you see the city of Tours? There's the main city. Do you see Nantes? You see Nantes to the left, yeah, Tours, here you go. So from that, you're going to go right on the S, pretty much, right there. And that's where we are,
Okay. Voila.
So Domaine de Beau Séjour is located in the Loire Valley. The Loire Valley is probably the most diverse wine region in France, and basically it is composed of many small regions that are stylistically actually very different, but they have one thing in common, which is that big river, the Loire River. So you can see where the Loire River starts all the way south of Bourgeois, and it goes all the way to the Atlantic Ocean in Nantes. So we call this region the Loire Valley region, wine region, but really from a technical standpoint and even a geological standpoint, it should be many small regions, but for all intents and purposes, just one big region. Domaine de Beau Séjour is a Sauvignon Blanc de Touraine, so the wine here is a Sauvignon Blanc, and Loire Valley and Touraine, that's where some of the best value Sauvignon Blanc come from. You have Sancerre, the mecca of Sauvignon Blanc, obviously, but a lot more higher price wine. And then in the region of Touraine, which means basically the region around the city of Tours, which are actually where my father and my sister live there. And that's where you have some of the best value Sauvignon Blanc that are really nice and crisp. Domaine de Beau Séjour here is an estate that was started in the early 1900s, and by the Trottignon family. And Philippe Trottignon is on the estate with his wife Valérie. They have about 80 acres of vines. They're located in a small hamlet called Noyer-sur-Cher, which is really like 35 minutes from Tours, literally where the S is located. And that's an estate that's located between the two rivers. One river is missing on this map, but the Loire River and then the Cher River. And that's very important due to the climate, because there's a lot of, plenty of water for the vine, which is good, so you get nice yield. But also, the type of soil at the winery is very different than what you can find in the Loire Valley in general, because in Loire Valley, usually it's a chalk line or limestone. And here at the winery, you have clay. It's a clay parcel. And the difference, what it makes on that wine is that the wine clay warms up a lot more easily than chalk or limestone. And it's going to give you wines that are a lot more fruit forward. And this is one of the rare Sauvignon Blanc de Touraine, from Touraine, which are actually very fruit forward compared to like very grassy, bright, citrusy. You know, in this wine, you have notes of peach, you have notes of apricot, you know, you have some sweetness, almost some quince, and then you have that lemon, confit lemon almost, and then still good minerality, good grassiness on the wine, and a very long, lingering finish, you know, that is almost like leaning towards the peach flavor with a bright acidity. So that makes it a really unique Sauvignon Blanc, and almost drinks like a Sancerre for a fraction of the price. You know, Philippe makes pretty much, this is the largest production that Philippe makes on this wine. He makes this and the red as his main production, and he makes a lot of that Sauvignon Blanc. It's an amazing, amazing value. I mean, I drink that at home all the time, and I'm always pleased with it. It's how bright it is, and how fruit forward for a wine from that region is. Because, you know, a typical warm day in the Rhône Valley, you know, it's like 70, 74 degrees. I mean, it's really not, in the summer, the high is like in the 70s. You know, very rarely you get to 90 degrees. I mean, you might get a week or two in the 90s, but most of the summer is 70 degrees, and most nights are at low 50s, you know, which is pretty normal Loire Valley River. So the wine reflects that, very crisp, very mineral, very easy drinking.
It does drink very much more like a Sancerre for half the price almost.
Yeah.
Our Sancerre started about 25, and this one is $14.99 on our shelf. So
oh, wow.
That's a great value. I want to know correctly, how are we pronouncing this?
Oh, you don't. You just say Beau Séjour Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh,
I
want to know how to say this.
It says it's Les Grenettes. You got to roll that out. You can do that. Les Grenettes. Yeah.
Les Grenettes. Okay.
And it's the name of the parcel.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
wow.
It's the parcel Les Grenettes. So usually we call it Beau Séjour Sauvignon Blanc. I know the packaging is so old school, classic French.
Yeah.
And I wanted to change it to have something more modern, but the wine, it became such a staple, and that people know, and they just go for it. And that's why I'm afraid to change it, because why would you change something that sells so well, you know? And so it's just, that's already, you know, I have, you know, it's one of those old school regions where I think the Loire Valley, you can have nice modern packaging. You don't have to have those classic like you have in Bordeaux or in Southern Rhône. But anyway, delicious wine, great summer wine, perfect with goat cheese, you know, fish, shellfish, or really by itself on that wine. I mean, just like a rosé, you can drink that wine any day, anytime.
Absolutely. Perfect for the beach.
Yes, we know you love the beach. Yes.
I only like the beach a little bit, just to let you know.
Just a little bit.
We tried our rosé. Now we've had the Sauvignon Blanc. We're going to go ahead and move on to our third wine, which is the Macon Village.
Domaine des Gerbeaux, Macon Village. Excellent. So this is in Burgundy, in southern Burgundy. So let me move this out of the way for me. You see where Bourgeois is? Yeah, in light pink. And then you have the dark pink just to the right. That's it, right here. That's where we are. So this is the Mâconnais region. It's the southern part of Burgundy. So Burgundy, the region of Burgundy actually includes Beaujolais. Beaujolais is a sub-region of Burgundy, and it's along the Saône River and along that line, as you can see here in purple and pink. The most famous, when people think about Burgundy, and they talk about those amazing, very expensive wine, they're usually talking about Côte de Beaune or Côte d'Or, which has the northern, or Chablis, you know, which are the northern part of Burgundy. But when it comes to value and user-friendly and great day-to-day wine, you have the Mâconnais region, which is not highlighted here, but that's where the little purple comes next to the pink in Beaujolais. The Mâconnais region is located around the village of Mâcon, and this is where Pouilly-Fuissé comes from, and all Mâcon wine. So Pouilly-Fuissé, named after two villages, the village of Pouilly and the village of Fuissé. Just like anywhere in Burgundy, the wines are named after the villages. And then Macon Village, obviously named after the village of Macon. And villages, that means that authorizes you to have Chardonnay vine coming from the village of Macon or any surrounded villages around Macon. You have some specific terroir in the Mâconnais, like Macon Solutré, where Chardonnay vine can only come from the terroir of Macon and the terroir of Solutré. With a village level, it gives you more flexibility in the winemaking. Of course, in Burgundy, if it's a white wine, it's always Chardonnay. And if it's a red wine, it's always Pinot Noir. There are exceptions, but I'm not going to go there. Just think about 98% of the time, it's the case. Now, Domaine des Gerbeaux. So this Macon village is made at Domaine des Gerbeaux, which is an estate located in a small hamlet called Solutré-Pouilly. And that's an estate that was started in 1893 by Jacques Charvet, who is the grandfather of the current owner, Jean-Michel Drouin. And they have, I'm doing the math in my head quickly, they have 22 hectares, so 44 plus 11, 55 acres of vines. And they farm biodynamically. And it's really, and everything is as old school as he gets. You know, he has Jean-Michel worked with his wife, Beatrice, his daughter, Laetitia, his son, Xavier, and then he has a horse, a donkey, and a German Shepherd. And that's about it. You know, because all the vineyards where he's located, they're all on hillside, and the rows are very narrow. Like you can really, it's like not even it's maximum 4 feet between each vine. So you can really have a tractor. It's a very small one. Their tractor to labor, you know, they use a little tractor, is like as big as your riding mower, you know, and it's very, very tiny and very narrow. They farm biodynamically, so they follow organic farming and also follow the astrological and lunar calendar to make the wine. They are not certified, but they are as natural as it gets when it comes to winemaking. They make about 80,000 bottles a year, so it's a very small winery. Most of the production is the Pouilly Fuissé that Sandy, you know well. And also they do amazing value Macon, which is actually 70% of that Macon is declassified Macon Chanfray and Macon Solutré. So you actually get a higher Macon Supérieur, a higher quality product for the price of a village. The wine is stainless steel. So when people think about un-oak Chardonnay, you know, the best un-oak Chardonnay that people know of are the Mâconnais, the Southern Burgundy Chardonnay. That's where you're going to get the best expression. If you want to know what a Burgundy or entry-level Burgundy is, a Macon is an amazing bottle to get. So full malolactic fermentation on this wine to make the wine nice, round, and creamy, very, very smooth. The malolactic, that means turning the lactic acid, the malic acid into lactic acid. So it makes the wine smooth and round. That's for easy step there. And then it's aged not on the lees. So the lees bring a body to the wine. So no lees, that's going to bring more crispiness, more minerality to the wine, and it's aged in stainless steel tank. So a really vibrant, easy drinking wine. The note flavor here: white flower, green apple, yellow apple. You know, a little exotic fruit, exotic mango on the mid palate. Very, very creamy around the mid palate. You know, nice fruity sweetness of the fruit at the beginning, and then you have a really vibrant mineral, lingering finish on green apple and exotic fruit. I'm a big fan of that wine. I mean, Domaine des Gerbeaux makes amazing, amazing wine.
This is a great value for this Chardonnay. I have turned a lot of my customers onto this wine that are drinking California Chardonnay, and they're used to the oak, but they don't necessarily want it so buttery. And obviously, like you mentioned, full malolactic, but done all in stainless. So it's a great balance between both. I think it's fantastic. You're still getting a roundness to it, but still really fresh and easy to drink all by itself. That's fantastic. I'm glad we're doing this today.
Oh, I know, it's an amazing. You know, we don't make South Carolina gets a lot of that wine. You know, they only make 500 cases of this wine a year, so it's really very small production.
Oh wow!
You'd be amazed. It's amazing. It costs that little. You know.
That's amazing. Yeah, beautiful wine there. Well, we've done 3 wines so far. We've done the Rosé, the Sauvignon Blanc, and the Chardonnay. We're going to start with our reds then. We're going to move on, and we're going to go to the Cuvée Vincent, right? We're going to do the gamut.
That's great. So I think I have 2 or 3 Cuvée Vincent in my portfolio, because Vincent, France is a Catholic country, and Vincent is the saint patron of all winemakers. So you have a high concentration of boys named Vincent if they're son of winemaker, and you also have a high concentration of Cuvée Vincent because of that fact, which is kind of interesting to me. You know, you would think it's so cliche, but they still do it.
That's neat.
The Cuvée Vincent. So now we're going back to Philippe Trottignon and his wife Valérie with one of the red is made. You know, I'm a big fan of the red wine from the Loire Valley. So we're back where we were just beneath the S in Tours. And this Cuvée Vincent is a great example of what type of red wine comes out of the Loire Valley. A lot of people just know, when they think Loire Valley, they think Sauvignon Blanc, and that's about it. You know, they think Sancerre. But they have amazing light body red, and which drinks just like a Beaujolais. I mean, this one is Gamay, just like in Beaujolais, and Malbec, actually. So it's a very rare blend of 85% Gamay and 15% Malbec. This one actually comes from chalky limestone soil, so that brings the wine a great minerality, you know, and also keeps the wine on a lighter of a profile using very light profile grape. I mean, the Loire Valley, as I said earlier, is not a warm region, so you cannot have grapes like Merlot or Syrah or even Grenache or Mourvèdre, you know, grapes that require a lot of sunshine and a lot of heat to mature. So you need grapes that do better with lower temperature and have therefore an earlier ripening process and or faster ripening process, just like Gamay. And the type of Malbec from that region stays very spicy. You're not going to have a Malbec that is fruit-driven like you find in Cahors or in the Languedoc because it doesn't get hot enough. But here, the purpose of Malbec in the Loire Valley is to bring structure, spices, and tannin to the very light, not overripe Gamay. Because otherwise, the wine will be very vibrant and mineral because of the lack of heat, you know, warmth.
Definitely spice note in this wine. Interesting enough, I didn't realize that there was Malbec in here, so glad to know because I picked up the spice right away.
It's fun. So the wine here, I don't know if you can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. So this one, I love this wine because you have, you know, like nice tart cherry, a little like violet flavors, you know, very, very like bright and tart and like fresh fruit. And then you have the spice that kicks in, you know, dark spice box, you know, little leather, little like black pepper coming on the back end, which is very fun. I mean, that's a great wine for any sort of barbecue, you know, braised meat, because you have that fatty content of meat and everything, or like, excuse me, plongeon cheese, because you have that fatty content, and then that wine is so bright and mineral and fruity and juicy that's going to cut through and really balance it out. I mean, that's a wine also you can put in the fridge for 15-20 minutes before to drink on a hot day, because Gamay does very well. That's a wine you can easily drink at 55 degrees, 55 degrees. That means if your house is at 75, you know, that's a 20 minutes in the fridge, and it's you're gonna get the better notes coming from the Gamay, you know.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. I was gonna say I'm drinking it chilled.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about ice cube today, but
no,
you know,
ice cubes in wine today, none at all. But I did have this chilled, and it's so pretty. The fruit is so beautiful. I'm glad that I did chill it, and I'm drinking it a little bit colder than I typically would, but I actually really like it like this. This is really very nice, and I can see it with barbecue. That'd be perfect.
It's a
Perfect for
fun
this
wine,
weekend.
yeah. It's not a very well-known wine, you know. There's like 1,000 cases, 800 cases made. We probably import like 400 cases, but the production is increasing. You know, just like the other Sauvignon Blanc, the packaging is not the most attractive, but if you know, you know. I mean, the content in the bottle, the value at that price point is just amazing. That's definitely a wine. You know, we can show it to everybody because we just don't have enough, but it's a great day-to-day wine. That Sauvignon Blanc and that red, I think, make a great pair.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Actually, I like the packaging. I don't think it should change. It looks really, really nice.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Lovely. I think that's lovely. Okay, so that was our fourth red. We're going to move on to our fifth red. And here we have Domaine de Chateaumar, the Cuvée Bastion.
Excellent. So back where we were for the first wine, you know, back in Orange, and with Domaine de Châteaumar, that 11th century estate. But this time, this is the most well-known cuvée coming from the winery, which is the cuvée Bastien. And basically, that cuvée is what put Domaine de Châteaumar on the map. This is the first cuvée we created with Frédéric, because all the wine made at Domaine de Châteaumar are either sold in the US or at the winery. If you go to any other country or any other places in France, you will not be able to buy those wines. That's the reason for it is when Frédéric took over in 2006, his father only sold juice in bulk. He grew the grape, vinified the grape, sold everything in bulk. And the main part of that cuvée, which is a déclassified Châteauneuf, was actually sold to Gigal to blend one of the Châteauneuf. I'll come back to that in a minute. Frédéric wanted to gain some recognition for his hard work. He wanted to start bottling wine, putting his name and the name of the estate on the label. And I met him at the exact same time, looking for great value Southern, Rhone wine. So we kind of created a partnership and he started bottling the wine, and I started buying it and importing it, and it became very, very successful because we had a single vineyard, all vine Grenache, declassified Châteauneuf du Pape in a bottle of Côte du Rhône. So when you taste this wine, you're basically drinking Châteauneuf du Pape wine, because Châteauneuf du Pape, which is a village designation, Côte du Rhône village, is actually a Côte du Rhône. So you can declassify it, you can bottle it as a Côte du Rhône if you want to. You lose the prestige, you lose the price point as well. However, when you have a lot of it, you can lower the price and pass on the value to the customer. So that's what we've done here. We named the wine after his firstborn, not named Vincent, but named Bastien. So that's a good thing. And so it became Châteaumar Cuvée Bastien. The first vintage we've done was 2006, and we did 500 cases because he had sold this batch to Gigal at that time. And then after that, the production is about 2,050 cases a year on that wine from that one single parcel. And this is one of my best sellers. I mean, my portfolio is known for a few wineries, and Châteaumar is definitely one of them.
So going back, this is a Côte de Rhône, but let's mention it's 100% Grenache, which a lot of times we see a blend of Grenache,
Yes.
and this is one of the very few 100% Grenache I have on my shelf from the Côte de Rhône region.
Yeah, that's true. So it's very rare. We make two cuvées from Domaine de Châteaumar. We make the cuvée Bastien, which is Grenache. We also have declassified Châteauneuf, and we have the Côte du Rhône Syrah, 100% Syrah. We decided to keep it that way because the terroir is such that the wines are so unique and they express so much that we just didn't want to change it, And then we also it was also a competitive advantage. It brings something more fun, more unique, instead of having yet another Grenache Syrah blend where you are mixing two different parcels, actually three different parcels, because the Syrah is two parcels, adjacent parcels, but they're still two parcels. It was just more interesting for us to keep it as a single vineyard for the Grenache and keep the Bastien separate. The fun thing I've done before, because sometimes I do classes, and we had those wines tested side by side with a third glass in the middle, and we let people do their own blend. So, and it was fun. People had a good time, and everybody, it was like herding kids. It was like a kindergarten party at the time. But it's if you want to play with that at home, you can buy the Bastien, you can buy the Vincent, which you carry also, Sandy, and you can make your own blend at home. It will not hurt the wine, I promise. It'll taste just fine, I promise, but we wanted to keep that unique taste. We really wanted to let the terroir, the soul, the parcel speak there because they have a lot of things to say coming from Domaine de Châteaumar.
I want to make a quick mention that I have a lot of customers that like Grenache, and they purchase a lot of Spanish Grenache. We have a lot of just 100% Grenache, Garnacha from Spain. But I have turned some people onto this because I wanted them to try French, 100% French Grenache. Dr. Oz made it a little bit popular, saying that it was the healthiest red grape. So we had a run on Grenache or Garnacha in the store several times. So 100% Grenache here, healthy grape, and we should drink more of it. But it's a
really good value wine. I don't know your price point, but it's under $20, and I mean, it's really like testing blind. You're drinking Chateauneuf du Pape, you know, for an amazing price point.
So our price point on it is $15.99.
Yeah, you can.
So, I mean,
You
that's really
cannot.
awesome.
This is one of the best value in my book. You really cannot find. There's not much in the market that has that much in the bottle for that price point.
This is beautiful packaging. I noticed both on the Côte de Rhône, on the Rosé, and on the Grenache. There's this beautiful etched glass.
Yeah, it's the Pope Palace in Avignon and the Avignon Bridge,
Beautiful. I love it.
where people sing and dance on that bridge.
Well, we can sing and dance with this because we can drink a lot of it. It'll make you want to sing and dance.
I know. It's a really, really good wine. Yeah, but that beautiful packaging, very elegant, amazing value. Everything that comes out. If you see Domaine de Châteaumar, you know, it's really, really dynamite in the bottle. I mean, it's an amazing wine.
And we also have the Chateauneuf as well here. So,
Which for Chateauneuf du Pape is still an amazing value.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, moving on from there, we're going to go on to our last wine. So, last but not least, Chateau Grand François.
Grand Français.
Francais. Thank you.
So Chateau Grand Français, let me move this out of the way. We're gonna go to Bordeaux on the right bank. How do I move this? And so where are we going? We're gonna go just above the U, between the U and the A of Bordeaux. So that's where we're going. So if you see the A and the U of Bordeaux, right around there, just above there, that's where Chateau Grand Français is coming from on the right bank of Bordeaux. And Chateau Grand Français is a very unique winery. So that's a winery that was started in the 14th century, late 14th century, early 15th century. Chateau Grand Français was named after the toponym of where the winery is located. You know, it was named there by monks who make the wine at the time. And it is now a very small family estate of only 20 acres. And they are a rare certified organic winery in Bordeaux. So it's a very, very tiny winery. You go to the chateau, it says chateau on the label, but the chateau is basically a 3,000 square foot house, you know, made of brick. I mean, it's not that great in that big wine but house. However, that is an estate that has been in the family for a long time, and the actual owner is a pharmacist in the Riviera, in the south of France. So it's not his main activity, but he's maintaining the estate regardless because it's a family tradition. But it's so small, it doesn't produce that much wine, so he bears no expense to make the best wine he can with the terroir he has. So you have an amazing wine within the Bordeaux Supérieur appellation, as you can see on the label. And the estate is basically two main big parcels, organically farmed. Less than 2% of the production of Bordeaux is certified organic. And although it's on the right bank, which you might know, the right bank is Merlot driven. So a lot of people think when a wine from Bordeaux comes from the right bank, it's mainly more Merlot. When wine from Bordeaux, from the left bank after that, it's mainly Cab. But that cuvée, 2016, is actually 80% Cab. If you look at the back label, there's only 20% Merlot in this, and the rest is Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc. So you get a wine that is 2016, one of the best vintage, or the best vintage in Bordeaux since 1982. The wine comes in a wood case also, because that's a wine, you can age that wine 15 years, easy, if you have the willpower. You know, you just have to buy 10 cases, and maybe in 15 years you have some left. But you have a wine that's mainly Cab driven, so it feels like it's almost a left bank. The wine here is a 45-year-old vine, hand harvested, about 1,500 case production, and aged in French oak, new French oak, 600 liters for 12 months. If you taste this wine blind, you think you're drinking an $80, $90 bottle of wine. That 2016 also could be natural almost. It's only 12.5% alcohol, so low alcohol. It's only 75 ppm of SO2 for people who are conscious about their sulfite level. Remember, Kendall Jackson is about 350 ppm. this wine, it is considered a natural wine for any wine below 80. You know, people consider almost natural. You have 75 ppm of SO2 on that wine, plus the organic certification. I'm a big, big fan of Chateau Grand Français for the value they represent. I mean, if they were in a different appellation, the wine would sell for like $350 a bottle, you know, if they were on the left bank. Thank you.
Wow,
So,
fantastic. This is a great value, and we have all that we could get from you. So send us some more.
we have more. I have more in New Jersey on that. He also has a natural. He also has for people who like to splurge a little bit more on their wine. We have 100% Cabernet Franc from them called Cuvée Numéro that comes in a wooden 6-pack, and that is made in amphora, and it has virtually undetectable, non-detectable sulfite in it. So it's totally natural, no sulfite added. And during the analysis at the lab, low alcohol, like 12% alcohol, almost no sulfite detected. Isn't it crazy? So the sulfite is at 0 level. So you have a wine with almost no sulfite, which is great. But you know, that is an $85 bottle of wine, so it's not inexpensive. But if you want something that's very rare, only 50 cases came to the US. The Cuvée Numéro is pretty fantastic. But when it comes to value, something you can drink Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Grand Cuvée 2016 is amazing because you have that for less than 30, probably in the $25 mark or $28 mark, and it's such a great wine. And anything in Bordeaux 2016 is worth a try.
Well, for something that drinks this beautiful, it's actually only $22.99 in our store. That's incredible.
Wow.
That really is. I'm sure that's why we do so well with it. And we have, you know, we have what we could get from you until you can send us more. So I encourage everyone to come in and pick up this bottle because this is fantastic. The nose on this is so beautiful, and it just so smooth. I love it. Absolutely love that. What a fantastic value. I am interested in 100% Cab Franc. So you have to talk to me about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I talked to Kevin about it. I have samples in my office. I can shoot you. I mean, I wish I could drive you a bottle, but I can send you a bottle quickly. You know.
That's fine. Yes, but this is mostly Cab Franc, 60%, correct?
Yeah, they do amazing that Cab Franc. I mean, that anyway, that big cuvée is amazing. But yeah, that I love this wine for the money. This is but the wines, it's a really an amazing lineup for the money. There's not a lot that would deliver as much for an average price point of what you have on that table.
Unbelievable. So just to recap, we had first the rosé. We did the rosé first, and this is $16.99. Beautiful, beautiful value for that. Then we went to the Sauvignon Blanc, and this is $14.99 on our shelf. And then our third white, the Macon Village Chardonnay, $17.99. And then we went on to the reds. We did the Gamay, the Cuvée Vincent. This is delicious. $15.99.
Oh, wow.
That's unbelievable. And then the 100% Grenache, the Côte d'Aron, $15.99 for that. And then the last but not least, which we just mentioned, our Bordeaux for $22.99. So, wow, that's a party. It's fantastic.
Great lineup, absolutely.
Very wonderful lineup. Thank you so much. Thank you for showing the map and taking us through and showing us, giving us the background, because that's so important to understand where these wines come from, you know, where the value comes from too, how the soil affects the wines. It's just fantastic. This is a beautiful, beautiful lineup. Thank you for procuring these wonderful wines.
You're very welcome. My pleasure. You know, and I'm thankful for you for introducing them to your customer. I mean, it's team effort for sure.
They love it. Thank you so much. I don't know if anybody has any comments they'd like to make, but you're welcome to say anything you'd like right now. We're pretty open to some open comments.
Hi, it's Judy.
Hey, Judy.
You know what kind of red wine drinker I am, correct?
Yes, I do.
I love every one of the red wines. I could see myself drinking every one of the red wines.
She also liked the Chardonnay one.
I also like the Chardonnay white, and I'm not a white wine drinker.
You know, when people tell me they're not a white wine drinker, I always say you just haven't met the right white yet, but you will. So see, you have today. That's why it's so good to try so many different things and open your mind up to just trying at least, because there's that surprise bottle for you. So now I have plenty for you, Judy. I'm going to hold a bookcase for you.
You go up a piece every week for me during this virus.
You know, I'm a white drinker.
Yes.
And there are a couple of reds that I like to mix.
See, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
So
I love the rosé.
I have to say the French, it has something to do with on-tap French. Make the best wine ever. I don't care.
I'm sure that's music to your ears.
I might have to argue this because I love soy.
We enjoyed it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Slower this week.
Yeah, thanks for going slower.
No problem. Thank you.
This is a personalized tasting for you. You don't realize this. You're our guest of honor today.
I also speak really, really fast, so I apologize.
You gave us a lot of history. And
Yeah.
so we were listening to that and we were able to actually pull the wines out and pour them.
We were hoping to take the Viking River cruise that goes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We were going this year.
Soon.
I pray.
Mm.
We did the German one 2 years ago, so.
Oh, it's beautiful there for sure, yeah. Those are the best way, Rhone Valley or even the Southwest, amazing cruises, river cruises.
Yep. Thank you.
Just a quick mention, these wines are not new to our store. We've carried them. So we've had these wines, we order them, they do well here. So, you know, we're featuring wines that we carry through Grassroots. So again, another Grassroots production here. This is our fourth virtual tasting, and these wines have all been provided through Grassroots, or I purchased them through Grassroots Distributing. So I just want to, you know, thank you for supporting them too through purchasing these wines here. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I really am so glad that we could be together again on this beautiful Saturday. We're going to do this again next Saturday, same time, same place, different wines, but always something fun and delicious to try, and, you know, some interesting knowledge to pick up. It's always fun to learn as you drink, right? So here we go. Anyway, any leftovers, call me after. I'll be there right after 8 o'clock.
We've got so much.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
As James' daughter. Since I'm not South Carolina based, are there stores that you could put together for me that have the wines that you have done over the past few tastings in like Orlando? Do you know of any?
From the last tastings, I can find that information out and get back to you on that.
And then you can always, you know, Kevin, if you need to, I can, you know, my wines are available in a few states, so you can always talk to Sandy or talk to Kevin, and I can always help you out. Unless Sandy can ship to you in Orlando. I don't know if you legally can do that, but if you cannot, I can help you out on my side.
In Florida, I know that you can have alcohol delivered. I just have to be there to sign.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, back everywhere, absolutely.
So we'll figure it out.
Otherwise, I volunteer to drive it down to her.
That's awesome. We will not let you go thirsty or dry. Trust me, we won't let that happen. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to step away because the team again has held it up for us while I've been here, and I want to go back and join in and help them out. So thank you again. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a great rest of your weekend.
Thanks, y'all.
You too. Take care.
So that's